No worries, Ntado. My sister and my dad are watching anime in the other room, so apologies if you can hear it. Um, Not much I can do about it. Hi, Lexi. You're not late. You were here before the within the first minute. Mwah. How are you, Lexi? How are you, sweetheart? Sorry, forgot to grab the ice globes. Amazing. Happy to hear it, Lexi. Happy to hear it, dear. Mwah. Hope you all had a good week. It's Friday. It's Friday. For some reason, I was like, oh, is it Sunday? No, it's Friday. It's Friday. So that means the final episode of Solo Leveling Season 2 airs tomorrow. That's real exciting. For sure. That's exciting stuff. Because I thought last weekend's episode was going to be the last one, but I guess they're doing 13 episode season. Probably. Doubt it's 14 or anything. So you can hear their show. They're watching Shangri-La Frontier, I believe. Hope you guys had something yummy today. We had stir fry for dinner. I do have treats. I remembered to grab a snack. I have this. So my aunt gave us a bunch of like Christmas chocolates and things like that she just didn't want anymore. So we have a bunch of like Ghirardelli caramel squares and stuff. Well, one of the things she gave us was those rolled like chocolate things. Motivation? Motivation for what? I suppose it did some great work. I suppose so. Sorry, was I mid sentence and I swapped to talking about something else? I'm sorry. Well, this is like a coconut rolled thing. Oh, that might be. I can't tell if that's mold or a chocolate chip. And I have a Feastables, a Mr. Beast Feastables. This is a milk chocolate bar. It was just sitting in the candy dish by the front window, covered in mint lifesavers. So I'm curious to see if this has been infused with mint flavor. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, because this one bar is like 190 calories. That's a lot. And it's like 35% of your daily fats. Yeah, it's 30. This one Feastables bar is 35% of your daily saturated fat intake and 30% of your daily sugar intake. So I'm not eating the whole thing. Hi, CJ. Mwah. How are you, dear? I'm doing good. I watched lots of Twitch today. I watched Kumi's stream, Bobby's stream, and Cosmic's stream. And I finished washing the towels. I folded them up, and put them away. Yeah, I'm excited for the new episode tomorrow. I'm super excited. Um, I thought last week was the last episode. I thought it was, and then the episode ended, and like, oh, there's more. So that'll be fun. And then in the next like 2 days, the next season's gonna start. The next anime season, spring season. It's still really cold outside today, at least around here. It's kind of chilly, cloudy. Might have rained overnight. And some of the trees are start sprouting leaves, but not ours. Still a little too cold, I guess. Mwah, mwah. Did you finish Ori of the Forest, whatever it's called, yet, Lexi? Did you finish that yet? But hi, Grave Lord. Hope you've been well, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good to see you. But how are you, CJ? How are you, lovely CJ? How are you? Oh, also, sucrose is streaming tomorrow, I think. So my sucrose withdrawals can end. My sucrose withdrawals will be over tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I had to treat my withdrawal symptoms last night, 2 nights ago, with the VOD. Failed root canal? Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, Grave Lord. Hopefully everything works out. That's no good. That's no good. Yeah, so I do have snacks for when and if Phobos shows up today. I don't think that's malt. It's probably chocolate. I don't know if coconut. Oh well. I don't actually know how old these things are. But I'm just going to eat one chunk of the Mr. Beast bar, the Feastables bar. This thing, it's kind of melty too. It's been sitting under the windowsill in the candy dish for months. Months. Maybe it's not melted. Maybe that's just where you're supposed to break the bar. But it's been sitting under a pile of mint lifesavers. And if you ever get like those bags, like I've talked about this before, but if you've ever bought those bags of Halloween candy, like the mixed bags after Halloween, and you get the one with like little Hershey bars, like the s'more size Hershey bars, Twizzlers, Reese's cups, and M&Ms, which is an interesting mix. The Twizzlers, the smell or the scent of Twizzlers will infiltrate and like penetrate the chocolate in the bag. So if you want to get if you get one of those bags, make sure it's like fast, like soon. Don't get those after Halloween, because by then the chocolate will just taste like Twizzlers. And my mom hates it. It is a nice medley of candy. Sorry if I was being loud. It is a nice medley of candy. But those Twizzlers, the smell or the taste, whatever it is, of the Twizzlers just penetrates the chocolate. Like it infuses the chocolate with Twizzlerness. And you can taste it. You can taste it. So yeah, don't get those ones. Unless you're me and need like Twizzlers for a Halloween candy tier list stream, or like two candy tier list streams. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yep, Reese's cups mentioned. Just take it one step at a time. That's good. That's good. Take it easy, Griffler. Take it easy. Hope I can help you relax just a little. Um, oh, yeah. Welcome back from the ad break. Sorry about that. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. I haven't watched Twitch on mobile in a really long time. But in the past few days, like the past week and a half, I've noticed that when I was watching someone stream and then ad break starts, I get like a quarter to like half the amount of that ad break. And then the like in terms of like video commercials, and then the rest of the ad break is banner ads on the stream. So, and I don't recall seeing a banner ad for Twitch like at all really last year, but maybe it's just because I don't pay enough attention. But maybe it's because they're having trouble getting advertisers right now. I don't know, but they're pushing a lot of banner ads, a lot of the same ones. Most of them are for just random Amazon products. Some of them were like it felt targeted. Like I was watching Blue's stream, and we were talking about shaving our legs, and then I got a banner ad for like a laser hair removal thing. It's like, whoa, that's like the most targeted ad I've ever seen in my life. So, I don't know. Hi, Minari. Mwah, mwah, mwah. How are you, Minari? There we go. Please go follow Minari, please. If you're not already. If you're here, you probably are. Thank you for the water and the stretch, Minari. Thank you. Minari is a very pretty jellyfish lady. She's awesome. She has a super comforting presence. She has mom energy in a very good way. For sure. Please give her lots of love, please. She does ASMR and she's very good at it. Trying to get a baby to sleep. I have no experience with trying to get a baby to sleep. When I was little, I had to share a room with my brother. And, when I was like little, I didn't mind going to bed because it was like, oh, I just lay down, I close my eyes, and the next thing I know, I open them and there's sun coming through the window, and it's time to go eat pancakes. I don't know. But like, when I was really little, like sub 5, sub 8, I would lay down in the bed. My parents would tuck me in or whatever, and then I would close my eyes, I'd open them, and it's daytime. So it felt like I was like time traveling, or like no time had passed at all. It was like the best thing ever. It was, I mean, I still didn't like going to bed most nights. I would sneak out of my room and then sneak up the stairs and sit with my grandma and watch MASH on TV. And then my dad would come upstairs and then pick me up and put me back in bed. I was a pill. I was a little pill. There were nights where I kept sneaking out of my bed and going upstairs like repeatedly. So my parents got a baby gate and put it on the stairs, and then I just climbed over it. I liked watching black and white shows with my black and white television with my grandma. I don't think MASH was in black and white. I didn't know what was going on when we were sitting and watching MASH. I just knew I wasn't sleeping, and that was good enough for me. And then there would be nights where my mom or somebody made puppy chow, or Pete's Treats, Puppy chow is Chex Mix with covered in melted peanut butter and chocolate, and then you coat it in powdered sugar, aka Muddy Buddies, the little bags of, Chex Mix sells that at the grocery store. You can go buy it. They're called Muddy Buddies, I think. It's a good name. Um, but or sometimes we made Pete's Treats, which is Rice Krispie treats, but using peanut butter instead of marshmallow. When I'm laying in bed, I could smell it, so I'd sneak upstairs, and then I think they would just tell me to go to bed. But yeah, I was a little pill when it came to bedtime. Um, when I got a little older, and then I think I just started going to bed. Well, actually, I snuck out of bed a lot growing up. When we moved out of my grandparents' house. I would sneak out of my room, and I would sneak downstairs to watch TV, but like it was like 5, 6 a.m., midnight. No, there's nothing on no, PBS Kids block is way over, so I would watch this black and white show. It was like a lawyer. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember the name of the show. I had no idea what was going on. I just knew I wasn't in bed. And then my dad would come and walk down the stairs and look at me grumpily, and then I would go to bed. Because I wasn't using headphones. I would just turn on the TV, and they would probably hear it. They probably heard it. But yeah, to which you knew them as before Chex made their official version. Hated people calling it puppy chow for the same reason. Yeah, I just grew up calling it puppy chow because that's what my mom and grandma called it. Um, I don't know why it's called puppy chow. Puppy chow's a cute name, but yeah, it's Muddy Buddies. Yeah, yeah. the video, the video was on my For You page a little while ago. Oh, I think it's a SciShow. It was a SciShow video. I don't remember if I finished it or not. Um, I was watching while I was waiting for my bag of veggies to finish steaming in the microwave. Um, yeah, because all their media was black and white, all the photos were black and white. But at the same, that just sound, I mean, sure. And sometimes a lot of my dreams are third person, or when I give them the chocolate wouldn't be good for puppy. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Um, yeah, so when I recall some memories when I was like really little, sometimes I see them in my mind in third person, and then some segments of dreams are in third person. I had a really weird dream last night. I don't remember what was going on or like why we were doing it, but we were at a park. We were at a park, I think, and we were like running around the gazebo, uh, with all the picnic tables under it and stuff, right? And there was like a guy in charge. I don't remember who he was. Just some dude my subconscious picked for that night. I don't remember his face. And we were racing around the gazebo, and you lost if you stopped moving. Like if any part of you like stopped moving at all or whatever. I don't remember exactly. Um, this might have been a spin-off of a school dream. Um, but like I was like losing or something, and then I grabbed like a rubber like pool toy shaped like a stingray, and I grabbed it and I draped over my back and started waving my arms like a bird. And I was like, okay, I'm still in the race. And then I tripped and fell on my back. And I like rolled on my side and I got myself up, but I kept going. And then the guy was like, "You fell over, didn't you? You fell over. You lost." I was like, "Yeah, I fell over." And then I don't. And then, um, and then it transitioned to me being in like a mine cart, like Minecraft, because I was like just going in a circle, and there was a giant spire showed up, and then so I was like, yeah, it's a giant spire tower, and I remember looking at it, like, that's gonna fall over, isn't it? On the next loop, it fell over in front of me. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh. That's all I remember of that dream. Anyway, sorry, sorry about that. Hi, Evie Boo. Hello. Thank you for being here. But I hope you're able to get your baby to sleep, Minori. But yeah, so part of me liked sneaking out of my room at night to watch MASH with my grandma, or to sneak downstairs when we moved out to watch something Mason. I don't remember. It's black and white show about a lawyer. And then part of me was like, oh, it's fine. I just lay down in my bed, I close my eyes, I open them. Next time I open them, it's daytime. It's like I'm time traveling. And yeah, and so I till I was like in high school, maybe I was sharing a room with my brother, and he sleeps like a freaking log, all the time, no matter what, without fail. My brother sleeps like a log. When we were little, he'd just lay down. Parents would tuck us in. They would say good night, and then he's just asleep, with like no time. He's just asleep, and it would take a lot to wake him up too. He just slept so heavy. Anyway, sorry, long diatribe about sleep. You want smooches, Evelyn? Okay, I'll get you some smooches. And Grave Lord wants our smooches. You got it. Hope we're doing right, Evie Boo. Yeah, we actually made Muddy Buddies like last month. Maybe that was 2 months ago. For the first time in forever. We always just have Pete's Treats. Pete's Treats are really good too, but you gotta eat them warm. You gotta eat the Pete's Treats warm when they're all goopy still. They're the best when they're goopy. Because if you wait too long, the Pete's Treats just get kind of dried out and then they get crunchy, which is fine in its own way, but you gotta eat the Pete's Treats when they're warm and goopy. You gotta. Okay, Evelyn, here's your smooches. Then Greyflower wants their smooches. Okay. No Mooney yet tonight. No Mooney yet. Okay. Please go follow Minari. Minari is awesome. Minari is awesome. Okay. Here's your smooches. I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. There you go, Evelyn. There's your smooches. Thank you for the redeem spirit. Thank you, thank you. Alright, let me drink some water real quick, and I'll get you your kisses, Grave Lord. Your smooches. It's 2 a.m. Hi, Chris. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? How you doing? 2 a.m. You should go to sleep. Yes, please go follow Minari. She deserves way more love than attention that she gets. She's awesome. Her ASMR is amazing. You don't sleep? You only gremlin mode? You should sleep. You should sleep. Stop. No. Too bad. Too bad. I don't want to keep saying nice. Minari has a really nice singing voice. She does. She tweeted about it. Is it still called a tweet? Is it a eat with a X? What sound does X make? What sound does an X make? Thick water, let's go! Doing F124 on the Xbox driver in Australia in the Visa Cash App Red Bull team? Oh, okay. The Visa Cash App Red Bull team took me a second to comprehend. There's a bunch of words I've never read together, one after the other. Nearly at 600. Please go follow Minari so she has to drink thick water. I think I was there when she made the goal. I think. V-carb? It's like that terrible VTuber card game. But it's about bread. Virtual carbs. Virtual bread. I've seen people drink thick water. It doesn't sound pleasant, but it's just water with like gelatin or something. Thickeners. You can buy it. You don't need a prescription to get thick water. You can just buy it. It also gets confusing since you have Red Bull Racing Team, but then Red Bull also sponsor another team. Oh. I see. What's thick water? Thick water is water that is artificially thickened. I mean, because water isn't very thick. It's thickened so it's easier for people that have dysphagia or other difficulties swallowing and that kind of thing, so they can stay hydrated. Excuse me, sorry. That's what thick water is. One reason why they changed the name again this year. Now it's called Racing Bulls instead of V-Carb, or whatever else it was called in 2022 and 2023. Gotcha. Yeah. It's just thicker, so it helps people with swallowing problems, so they don't, swallow it into their lungs and all that stuff. It has calories though, because water doesn't have calories, but thick water does. Yeah. So I'm excited for Minari to drink thick water. That sounds great. So please go follow Minari so she has to drink thick water. Do it. Okay. Sorry about that, Grave Lord. Sorry about that. Let me put some chapstick on real quick. Oh, that was my elbow. Okay. Here you go, Grave Lord. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about the delay, Grave Lord. I got distracted talking about thick water. Oh, that's good. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you, thank you. Oh, sorry. There you go, Grave Lord. There you go. Thank you for the redeem sphere. Thank you. So, okay, I'm just now discovering that either D&D's like WotC Wizard of the Coast released their virtual tabletop for D&D, or it's canceled, which I'm leaning on it being canceled. um, because like, man, to being into D&D last year, or was it 2 years ago, was very interesting. Very interesting, because they had the OGL scandal, and then uh, yeah, I think it was 2023. It sucks now. It does. You're right, Intado. It still sucks. It still sucks. I haven't played D&D in a while. I haven't. The last tabletop game I played was a fan one made for Pokemon. To play a Pokemon tabletop game, and that game is actually really fun. Um, the combat seemed. I mean, we didn't. I didn't do trainer on trainer battle combat. It was just my players versus wild Pokemon. Um, but the combat system seemed a little overwhelming. But actually, like, to me, I learned best. I find when I actually like do the thing instead of just being told to me or reading it. Reading it, of course, helps, but like using it or playing, using the thing explains the thing to me. It is fun. It is fun. Um, we've done a few ASMR streams where I worked on the world map for my setting, called the Pectian region, because Pecti, or whatever is like sin in Latin, um, and Pectian sounds interesting to me. It's a fun word, because my setting is like based on like the Wild West, colonial America, that kind of vibe. Not exactly one for one, but um, and I have a book called Poke Anatomy, which I got at a convention like 3 years ago now. It's a fan work. Um, it has all 151 original Pokemon plus Togepi, and the author breaks down how the Pokemon would feasibly exist were it to be real, and like Pikachu's electric sacs and stuff. The electricity is stored in like deposits of sodium or something in its skeleton where the cheeks are, and the ears and the tail, and it generates like static or something. Um, and Electabuzz is a big bipedal cat monster that lays eggs in holes in the ground. Um, Blastoise is what made the page on Blastoise is what made me want to look into Pokemon D&D, which led me down various rabbit holes. But in Pokenatomy, the author posits that Blastoise has the metal cannons on its back because they've been so selectively bred to, uh, you know, blast water out of their bladder, the water bladders in their shell, at such a high velocity and pressure that they need the metal cannons to focus the water pressure. So if you have a domestic Blastoise or a Wartortle and it evolves, you couldn't have it use its water cannon or hydro pump or whatever, because if it did, the water pressure would rupture the water sacs, the bladders in its back, in its shell, and it would drown. It would suffocate. So you have to get your Blastoise affixed with cannons, because they've been so selectively bred to fire water at such a high pressure that it would rupture the bladders in their bodies, which was like, that's really cool. That's really neat. And then I had this image in my mind of a Blastoise standing on every street corner like a fire hydrant, with a little red cap. It's like, that'd be so cool. It would be so cool. So then it sent me down this rabbit hole, and then I found Pokemon Tabletop United. It's a free resource online. I believe it's crowd. It's developed by a handful of fans. It hasn't been updated since 2019. Their site hasn't anyway. But you can download the big zip file of all the game materials. There's a core Pokedex from Gens 1 through 6. That's red and blue to X and Y. And then there are separate Pokedexes for Alola, Galar, and the Hisuian variant forms. Plus Toys One needs to pee really bad. That's a that's not. It's not that bladder. Not that bladder. Not that bladder. But it is fun, Minari. It is fun. I hope you get the chance to play a tabletop game at some point. It is fun. Also depends on who you're playing with, of course. So the Pectine region, we played with my friend, his wife, and my brother. And I have like 3 other friends that was like, let's play this. So and 3 is already overwhelming enough because I have to keep track of their trainers and then their Pokemon in combat. Just feel you'd be self-conscious in the role-playing aspect. Yeah, you don't have to role-play. You don't have to, by no means. Like, I'm not good at it. I don't think I'm good at it. But you know, it's fun. It's fun. And my friend, he got back from his Mormon mission like last year, 2 years ago now. Maybe it was last year. And I was like, "Hey guys," in our Discord, in our group Discord, I was like, "Hey, you guys want to do this still?" And my friend was like, "Pokemon D&D." It's like, "Yeah, you want to play?" It's like, "Yeah, can I have a gun instead of a Pokemon?" I was like, "Yep, you can have a gun and a Pokemon." So he's playing as a 40-year-old grizzled cowboy bounty hunter with a Trico named Quick Draw, I think is the Trico's name. The Trico is like a sand gray color. Not the shiny or not. It's not a regional variant. It's just a sand gray Trico. And man, it's fun. I hadn't DM'd since when my friend got back. We held like a welcoming party, or we held a surprise party for him, and I ran a D&D one shot where they all played monsters trying to escape a circus. Most of it was all by the seat of my pants. I had planned a few things, but not a lot. And that was fun. One of them was a water elemental who had to stay in a wine bottle around a doppelganger? Was it a doppelganger? No, it was a Nothic. Around the Nothic's neck, the Nothic player. One of my players was a fairy dragon, which gets them access to a handful of spells. Nothing awesome, super amazing like fireball or anything, but like illusory spells, light spells that make light and turn you invisible and stuff. And one of them played as a animated sword and a rug. And yeah, was it just those 4? I think it was just those 4. I had a lot of fun with that though. A good DM will make a world in a way where you can be more combat. Yeah. That's the combat's like the whole like draw to the Pokemon game. You know, because it's Pokemon. But there are rules for Pokemon contests. Thank you for the lurk, Minari. Thank you. Thank you for the stretch too. Thank you. And the water. Thank you. But the circus in the one shot was owned by a Lamia, In D&D, Lamias are half lioness, not half snake, like in the kind of ecchi animes. Both are very valid. I am just used to the snake Lamias because of anime and that sort, but Lamias, at least in the 5th edition monster manual, are depicted as being half lioness. Um, and they're really big, and they sit in their lair, and they have like a clairvoyance spell, and they have uh, like a small army of jackal wares, which are lycanthropes, but they're half jackal, and they obey the Lamias every whim, and they disguise themselves as regular people, break into towns and kidnap people. They destroy caravans and things. It's like, oh, and Lamias are really like collecting things. They really like collecting things. So it's like, oh, that'd be fun. Except a Lamia is like a CR5, and the water elemental was like the highest CR, or did the most damage, and his attack was 4d6. So I tried to avoid them fighting the Lamia. The Jackal wares were no problem, but I had fun kind of building out this circus. It was fun. They had Jackal wares as like the general purpose employees because they can revert to human form or just pure jackal form, or half and half. So they could act as regular employees. And then they had bullywugs. Bullywugs are fun. I love bullywugs. Just how EA Sports College Football 25 is now on Game Pass for free. Oh my goodness. Didn't like a football college game release like last year, and it was like one of the highest selling games of that year? Because they hadn't had an entry in that series for like 2 decades or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about sports games. But bullywugs, I see it in Toto. I'll get your smooches in a second. I gotta finish this thought about bullywugs. But bullywugs are like 2-3 feet tall frogmen. There's there's a couple different frog people in D&D. There's bullywugs, and then there's ones that are based on poison dart frogs. I can't remember their name. They're like half the height of a bullywug, though. Maybe they're a little taller. But they're adorable. There's like 5 or 6 colors of them. And they have to bathe in water at least for like 2 hours every day, or otherwise they dry out. They're super cute. They're super cute. I love them very much. But bullywugs are little like jerks. They're not nice, and that's where froggy myths come from. Bullywugs worship froggy myths as like a deity, but they're just little pot-belly toad men, and they're great. So I used the bullywugs as like the guys that cook the food and feed all the monsters and animals and stuff in the circus. So the water elemental's job was to wash the clothes. He was kept in a little wash bin and used as a living or sentient washing machine. And the animated sword and rug were used in like magic tricks and things. And the Nothic lost focus because your game, which ended in a DNF anyways. The story about it's a D&D one shot I did for some friends, with some friends last year, when it was either last year or 2 years ago, when one of our friends came back from his Mormon mission, and they all played as monsters, and their goal was to escape the circus, because they were all kept by the circus and they wanted to escape because the circus was not it's not a good circus. um, and the Nothic, I did this fun time role playing as the bullywugs because they were suspicious. The bullywugs are also used as like the circus's alarm system because the bullywug's croak can carry for like half a mile. They're very loud. The giant frogs, relatively giant frogs, giant for frogs, but small for everything else. Um, and the Nothic wandered to the kitchen to get like a bottle or something to keep the water elemental in, so they could take it out of the tent it was stuck in. And the bullywugs are like, "What are you doing? Why are you in the kitchen?" So he grabbed a bottle or whatever and snuck out, and the bullywugs kind of followed him. And they tried to smash the bullywugs by knocking inadvertently, or quote unquote accidentally knocking a dresser over on top of them. And the bullywugs caught it and like, help us, help us. And they helped the bullywugs, and they were like, "Oh, you goofballs!" And then they hopped away. It was fun. And then I had a gelatinous cube that acted as a Zamboni that just patrolled the circus grounds, eating all the trash on the floor. So it was fun. It was a fun time. Anyway, let me get your smooches. Smooches and Tonto. Ever understood D&D? Yes, okay. It is a lot. I started playing when I was 13, maybe I was 12. Because my friend that used to live down the street, I played Dungeon Siege and stuff with. Their family is really into D&D and magic and that stuff. As am I. But like half their closet was just full of boxes of magic cards and stuff. They really like playing Commander. And he's like, "You want to play D&D?" I was like, "Okay." I made a dwarf. We played 3.5. That's my friend's favorite edition of D&D. That's the edition that they played at their house. I played a dwarf who was it was fun to play. I wanted sorry, that's my dad laughing. I'm so confused. You set that aside and watch because at the time I find it weird to be staring at a table moving random little pieces to make a story game thing. Yeah, it's just more. I find D&D to be a structured session of like make believe. When you I don't know what he's laughing at. Sorry about that, guys. Because when I was little, me and my brother would play games outside. We would look for bugs and things under rocks and 10 wolves. It was horrible. Yeah. When I was playing D&D, when I was just DMing a D&D campaign with my friends, I had like 7 player characters. So combat took a good while. Just by inherently having 7 player characters, it would have been like 6, but one of them had 2 because one of his characters went away for a little while because he wanted to try something different, and both of them ended up staying. One of them was only used to just use a wand of wonder anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was like turn order. Combat just took forever. A lot of the time, just because I had 7 player characters. But what was I saying? Yeah, D&D is just kind of a structured session of make believe. To me, it's like the most basic way I can think of to explain it. It has structure and rules besides the rules you came up with when you were like 4 years old. kid playing at recess. But like, no hitting, no, no picking your nose and trying to wipe it on people when you're playing tag. No, like it's structured rules. You roll dice. You know, that's what it is to me. Um, it's fun. I have fun with that. Football. Remember, this is an England person who doesn't understand the sport. Um, I don't know much about it either. The only one I know is BYU, but that's just because I'm a Utah. I do believe BYU. Like watched a video a while ago about BYU and how they like shook up the college football thing because they were like they actually made it to like the finals, and they were in a district where that usually didn't happen for some reason, and then they had to like change the rules. I don't remember. I don't even know if BYU's in the game. That's the or UVU. Those are the ones I know. But yeah, if I was doing 10 wolves, I'd either have like two go at once, or have them all take their turn at once, or something. There's ways to like streamline that for sure, for sure. Um, but I don't think I would just do an encounter with 10 wolves. I mean, you could, but throw in like maybe a not a knoll. What are the like goblin wolves that goblins ride around on that are like sentient wargs? Throw in a warg. Throw in a warg. 5 wolves. There you go. Reloading crossbows a turn. I believe that was yeah. I think that was just a rule in 3.5. Maybe not. I don't know. My character didn't use a crossbow. I had I had a bow, um, but yeah, I never really played a ranger or anybody that used ranged weapons. The man was just not a good deal. Well, it's not for everybody, of course, and there's definitely lots of learning involved in being a dungeon master or a game master. For sure, for sure. But yeah, some people are just not cut out for it. They're just not. They're just not cut out for it. But yeah, I recommend Pokemon Tabletop United. All of this stuff is on their website. Just Google Pokemon Tabletop United, and yeah, it should be this first result. Um, Download the rule book and stuff. It is quite a dense rule book, kind of. And then they have modules for a sci-fi setting, like a cyberpunk setting. And then they have not module, but like expanded classes, an add-on, I guess. And then they have an add-on for fantasy settings where you have like a legendary Pokemon as your what's the term? What's the term? Patron. And you have a legendary Pokemon as like your patron that gives you powers, or there's just like martial classes like fighter, uh, marksman, which my friend is playing. With the marksman's kind of busted. It's really hard. But it's Pokemon, so the combat's pretty swingy, especially with type effectiveness. Oh my goodness, it was over. The end of the session was combat with a Blastoise that went to little nuts, and he died. He fainted in like 2 turns. It was three or 4 turns. He got. I don't think he got to move once. First turn, my brother's Zoroa put him to sleep. The next turn, my friend with the cowboy shot the Blastoise in the knee, and then or and then his Trico used Bullet Seed, and he was knocked unconscious immediately. It was just over. So combat's very, as always, action economy. Um, if you have one guy, one opponent, you have to like beef him up quite a bit. Otherwise, he's just gonna get curb stomped. Which is fine because we played that session was mostly just to see if we like the system and to figure it out. So, and that was accomplished. That was accomplished. It was. Anyway, sorry, Tato. I'm gonna get you your smooches. But of course, Pokemon Tabletop United, you're probably gonna get the most use out of it if you like Pokemon. I mean, it can be fun too if you don't know what's going on. Because some Pokemon have look really weird, and then you get it described to you like a Nidoran, a little purple hamster with big blue ears and a horn on its forehead. That sounds neat. And then you have stuff like Mr. Mime. There's just a bald man standing in front of you wearing a jester outfit, and he is miming. And now you're asleep. I don't know. Very interesting. Pokemon's fun. I haven't played a Pokemon. I have played Violet. I never finished it. But I like Pokemon a lot. I just wish they would let the games cook a little longer. Put a little more effort into the games, work out those kinks, make it look pretty. Or just let them go back to doing 2D sprites like Black and White, and White 2 and Black 2. That was like peak. There was like peak sprite art. Oh my goodness, this looks gorgeous still. Anyway, I'm sorry. But D&D's fun. I hope you guys get a chance to play it if you haven't before. I will give you said opinion after I give Entato his kisses. An ad break starts in about 2 minutes, so I'm just going to give Entato kisses till the ad break starts. And then I will give you my opinion on ZA when we're back. Random state. Delaware, if there's any for Delaware. If there's none for Delaware, Alaska. Alaska. Excuse me. Sorry. Lucky choice, let's go. Sorry about the air break. Give me a second to pull my nose real quick. I will be right back. I'll wait till the air break to talk about is EA. Um, yeah, Tabletop Unite also has rules built in for changing a Pokemon's typing, like during gameplay, not for like homebrew. They do have stuff to be like, hey, feel free to homebrew weird variant Pokemon. Here's a example stat block for Crystal Onyx and stuff like that. Too, and you get to two that don't exist. Well, Delaware. I'm pretty sure Delaware is a state. I might be thinking of Rhode Island. I think Delaware is a city. Rhode Island is a state. Sorry, that's my bad. And Alaska, I don't know if Alaska has college football. I imagine they have teams, but I don't know. My dad's laughing again. Sorry about that. And same with Alaska. Yeah. Recognized enough to be big enough for the game. That's too bad. That's too bad. Welcome back, fan break. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. Grave Lord, are you still here, Sharon? We could talk about ZA now. I think we talked about it a bit last week. Excuse me. Maybe Wednesday too, because of the direct. Actually, the direct was yesterday. Never mind. I think I'm really actually excited about the like real time combat. How the moves have like, ranges and things like that. That's really cool. I'm glad they're finally doing that. Um, I think that's what people kind of pictured maybe when they thought of a 3D, open world Pokemon game. I like the idea that there's the city Lumios has like a nightlife where like after the sun sets, everybody goes out and they fight each other all night. That's kind of cool. That's neat. I'm not like super impressed by the game's visuals or anything. I think Sun and Moon actually looked better, but they were familiar with the 3DS hardware, and they had three pairs of games to get used to the 3DS hardware, and which they had already been developing for. No, they did. X and Y were the first Pokemon game. Yep, never mind. And I think parts of X and Y look a little rough still. You can still only move in the 8 cardinal directions. I think. Maybe that's just walking, and I think maybe the roller skates let you go in circles. I think they do. because you can. I remember you can spin. Um, I think it's been a while since I've played it. The thing I'm most excited about is the real time combat, and I want to see the final forms of the three starters, see what they do with that. I know it was revealed, and people were like, "Why is Chikorita here?" Or why are there two Johto starters and one Unova starter? Um, which I mean that's fair. But we also haven't seen their final evolutions, their variant forms, uh, their regional forms. I guess that's what it's called. So I'm just kind of waiting till we see those before I pass judgment. I kind of wish they just changed the whole line, made them all regional variants. I think that'd be cooler. Um, but maybe that'd be a little harder to implement because starters are all supposed to be monotype. I still think it'd be fun for them to do a starter trio of fighting, dark, and psychic. I think that'd be fun to see. Um, but I'm also hoping that the Gen 6 starters are still available in the game. Hopefully, we can still get Froakie, Fennekin, and Chespin, and that their forms, their final forms, their lines get Mega Evolutions. I think that'd be really cool. Because when they did Mega Evolutions and Gen 6, they just handed you a Kanto starter. Be like, hey, if you don't like your first starter, here, take this one. This one, you guys like these ones, right? And they gave those Mega forms. Charizard got two. And I think Mega Greninja. I think it would be also a good chance to bring back Ash Greninja in some form, because Ash Greninja is still trapped on the Sun and Moon demo, or whoever's copy of the whoever's Sun and Moon save file still has him on there. I did play that demo; it was fun. But I hope they bring him back in Ash Greninja in some form. Maybe they'll just pretend he's Mega Greninja, and Hope Chestnut and Fennekin's final stage gets a Mega too. That's like all I'm really worried about. Besides, like the visuals look kind of poopy. the it I think it looks a little better now because they flattened all the buildings. There's no balconies on the building, so it's and it seems like the game is rendering the whole city all the time. Maybe not like the whole city, like every NPC or anything, but generally rendering the whole thing. So maybe that's why they did it. I just wish they would give the devs the tools and the time and the resources to like just polish the heck out of a Pokemon game, because that would blow everyone out of the water. That'd be so cool. Polish the heck out of a Pokemon game. Just let them do that. But of course, it's dictated by merchandise release windows. We gotta manufacture the plushies at this time, order them. Then by the time they're done, we gotta get the game out. We have to print the cards, get those shipped out. We need to make like display stuff for like the Pokemon Center. There's lots of stuff to coordinate with that. So I doubt they could delay the game. I wish delay a Pokemon game. I hope eventually they just give Game Freak the time that they should need to polish the frick out of a Pokemon game. Make it shine like nothing else. Just make it super pretty. No bug. I mean, just do it. Let them do it. I think it'd be so cool. But I don't know if they ever will. I don't know if they ever will. Among the Johto trio, I'm probably going to pick Chikorita. Feraligator's really cool. Feraligator's really cool. And Embor uh, is what I picked in my first playthrough of White 2 that I never finished. I still have never beaten White 2. I'm working on that, or was working on that. And But I like Dinosaurs. Meganium is really, I like Meganium. I think um, it would be fun. So, um, I looked this up a little while ago. There is a there's a sauropod native to France. There's a sauropod dinosaur discovered in France, named after a vineyard because it was found near a vineyard or something. Um, Let me find it. Let me find the name of it. Species, France, there it is. Ampelosaurus. 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 Its name literally means vine lizard or vineyard lizard. It's literally perfect. It makes it would make so much sense, and it would be so cool. It's literally named the vine lizard. It's oh my goodness. It's so cool. So a meganium with like grapes around its neck, or maybe it's like got like vines draped over its head, like like a horse mane or something. I don't know. It just makes so much sense. And we saw in the trailer that Chikorita learns Baby Doll Eyes, so in ZA it learns some fairy moves. Um, and it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. I love this. I'm probably happy. It's probably not going to be a vine, grape, meganium, or anything like that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. They could go really weird with it and have it like wrap its neck around like a stick, like a like a what are they called? Scaffolding or whatever for grapes and tomatoes and things. I think that'd be interesting. But I don't know. The most different looking Hisuian starter to me is Decidueye. The other two are just kind of, they look pretty much the same. They have very similar silhouettes. But Decidueye was different to me. You're off to bed. Good night, and Tonto. Good night. I'm sorry if I'm getting too loud. Get too excited. Mwah, 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 mwah. I mean, it's just because I like dinosaurs. But something to do with perfume or like wine. Something. Something. Maybe it has a ring of flowers instead of one big flower around its neck. Maybe it's purple. I don't know. But like Embor and Feraligatr, I don't know. I don't have too many ideas about about what those could be. Aloxid Noggin did a video about it, and I think they talked about meganium and perfume and things. And then Feraligatr being like a part poison type, and it's like a sewer gator. Because there is a story of a sewer gator in France, that they had the police or somebody had to go down into the sewer and drag this alligator or crocodile out of the sewer. And then Embor, I don't know, a chef, um, some form of chef. Um, or Meganium is like this princessy fairy figure. Embor is like, because Pig Knight, Knight Pig. Embor is like a warrior knight, and then for alligators, like this monstrous dragon-like creature, like in a fairy tale. Um, I don't know, something like that. I think Loxton Noggin put the idea of that out there, or it was a comment under the video. I like that idea too, but I mean, vine lizard, vineyard lizard, Ankylosaurus. It's right there. It's right there. If they don't do it, I'm gonna do it and put it in my tabletop Pokemon Tabletop United campaign. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. If they don't, I'm gonna do it. Stinky Gator, yeah. Big Stinky Gator, please. No, it's okay, Grateful. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I get it. This will also give us a chance for them to just spell out Gator, because Feraligatr ends with that R because there weren't enough characters on the Game Boy games to fit Gator. It ends with that R abruptly because there wasn't enough characters. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm getting too excited to think about it. I'm looking at the Ankylosaurus Wikipedia article here, and there's a section of distinguishing anatomical features. This set of characters was identified by Loew in his description of Ankylosaurus to distinguish it from all other genera. Teeth that weakly spatulate, a laterally widening distal extremity of neural spines on the dorsal vertebrae, so it has spines on its back. Neural arch of the dorsal vertebrae inclining strongly towards the rear, a lack of distal expansion on the scapular blade, the presence of a light ventral crest on the top of the scapula, that's the shoulder blade, the presence of plate, bulb, and spine-shaped osteoderms, and in 2005, the Loew, I'm so sorry, added that the constriction of the neural spine on the dorsal and cervical vertebrae was also probably a characteristic of Ankylosaurus. So if we look at it, it's depicted with spines coming out of the spinal column, kind of pointing towards the tail. So I mean, you could have a Meganium with like grapes, like how what is Trico's final evolution called? It has fruit on its tail. You have a Meganium with like grapes on its back. That'd be really cool. That'd be cool. I don't know. I just think that'd be neat. But I mean, Ankylosaurus is right there, Game Freak. Please. Please. Anyway. Those are my thoughts on ZA. Most of the biggest problem I have with the game so far is that it just looks kind of not great. But I'm excited for new regional variants, if there's any, besides what the starters evolve into. If the starters have variant evolutions, Maybe they mega evolve instead of getting regional variants, and then the mega evolutions are regional. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But I did notice in maybe it was in the original like Pokemon Day presents thing. But in the Nintendo Direct yesterday, there was a shot of a Heracross and Pinsir together, and it's like, oh yeah, because Heracross and Pinsir Mega Evolve, and I'm pretty sure they were both game exclusive, so they put both in the same game. That's cool. That's neat. That's neat. So hopefully all Mega Evolutions are somehow obtainable. Besides like Rayquaza. Uh, the Rayquaza might be part of the plot. I would be kind of disappointed if he wasn't, because he's the only legendary besides Mewtwo that can Mega Evolve, and Rayquaza doesn't need the bond of a trainer to do so. He can just do it himself. Besides, like the primal forms of Kyogre and Groudon. So hopefully that is part of the plot too. I think that'd be fun to see Rayquaza again. That'd be neat to see him like integral to a plot of some sort. That'd be fun. But it's probably going to focus on Zygarde. I mean, Rayquaza might make an appearance, but it's probably going to center. It's ZA, the legendary, the box legendary, whatever is Zygarde. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about going on a rant. Did I answer your question, Gravelord? Does that answer your question? I do like all three of those starters too. I like all of them. I have a Totodile plushie over here. I have a Totodile plushie right here. I got it at Walmart because he was sitting there. Yeah. Mwah, 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 mwah. But I mean, come on, Ankylosaurus is right there. It's right there. It's right there. Very much okay. Also, it seems Wizards of the Coast did cancel the D&D virtual tabletop that they were making. Yeah, I remember watching news videos on YouTube about D&D's virtual tabletop and how it's like they're saying it's not a video game, and they're gonna monetize the crap out of it. Most likely, you're gonna have to buy dice, and you can buy magic items, and it's gonna be terrible for DMs because the players are gonna buy like a super cool sword that is cool, but doesn't really fit the dungeon master setting or anything like that. And then they'll be like, no, I paid $5 for this sword. You're going to let me use it or I'm not playing, you know. So there's a bunch of worries about that. And come to find out, it's not coming out. So, which is also interesting. Like, there are already programs and things you can use to play D&D virtually. Um, with like, not nothing with like 3D models or anything. Maybe there's something like that out there, but I mean, you don't really need to use those. I kind of like the theater of the mind. It can be, with like big set pieces, it can be a little, tricky with using theater of the mind. But, um, we're playing pretend anyway. It's like reading a book. You have a picture of it in your head, which is probably part of the problem with theater of the mind with big set pieces and things, is that you read the book and then you watch a movie based on the book, and like, this isn't the book at all, because you had an image of it in your head. Like, I remember I had to read Ender's Game for school when I was in junior high, and if you've never read Ender's Game, it's decent. I haven't read it in a long time. The author is kind of strange about gay people, but um, I recall the movie being okay. I saw it in theaters because I had read the book. I was like, hey, Dad, let's go watch Ender's Game. I think I went with my dad and my grandpa. Maybe my grandpa was there. I don't know. I can't ask them anymore. I'll have to ask my dad if he remembers. I remember I went with my dad. Maybe my brother was there. And maybe my grandpa. Maybe. But in Ender's Game, he does like... There's like a game that tests the people to be like, are you fit for service? Or I don't remember. But you play as like a mouse, and you go into like... And then you end up in a giant's, like a fairy tale giant's room, and if you mess up, the giant smushes you or something. So I always imagined it being like a top-down. So I think I got a hair on my mouth. A top-down, like 2D platformer thing, and in the movie, it's like a CG cutscene. And I was like, this is weird. Because in my mind, I was like, oh, it's like a 2D platformer thing, top down, that's, whatever. And then in the book, Ender, like, passes the test or whatever by, like, using his imagination and getting frustrated at the giant. So he has the rat, like, jump into the giant's face and eat its eyeball or something, and then it goes through the giant's skull into the next level. It's like, oh, he broke the game, because I pictured it as like a 2D pixely thing, and then he like broke it, and like, whoa. And then watching it, it's like, this looks terrible. This isn't it at all. But I think the rest of the movie was fine enough, I suppose. But yeah. Maybe that's probably the biggest problem with theater of the mind, is that everybody pictures a different theater, or everybody's theater is different. So, but I mean, it's not really necessary to have a bunch of models and things. It just feels like more to maybe it helps keep track of like big combat scenarios better, probably, but eh. Oh well. Mwah, mwah. But I mean, there's also Tabletop Simulator. I don't know if you can play D&D. Can you play D&D in Tabletop Simulator? There's probably a method to do that. Excuse me. Sorry, goodness. But we're approaching the 2 hour mark here, kind of. So if any other trigger requests, get them in. We still have like an hour, 40, 50 minutes. So, yeah. Is it okay with you guys if I read the Wikipedia article for Ampelosaurus? Ampelosaurus. It's alright if we read some of it. Okay. Ampelosaurus, meaning vine lizard, is a titanosaurian sauropod dinosaur from the late Cretaceous of what is now France. Its type species is A. atticus, named by Loif. I'm probably butchering the name, I'm so sorry. In 1995. Its remains were found in a level dating from 71.5 million years ago, representing the early Maastrichtian, which is the latest age of the late Cretaceous epoch or Upper Cretaceous series. Okay. Like most sauropods, it would have had a long neck and tail, but it also carried armor in the form of osteoderms. In 2005, over 500 bones have been assigned to Ampelosaurus, and additional material has been found since, including a partially articulated skeleton with skull, which makes it one of the best-known dinosaurs in France. However, recent studies suggest that the type specimen, or the type locality, is not a monospecific titanosaur bone bed, and that the part of the bones attributed to Ampelosaurus probably belonged to a second titanosaurian taxon. Ampelosaurus lived on what was the Ibero-Armorican island, a landmass including much of present-day France and Iberian Peninsula. Histological studies show characteristics related to an island environment, such as a slowed growth rate. However, with a size of about 14 meters or 46 feet in length for the largest known individual, Ampelosaurus was not an insular dwarf, unlike some other Ibero-Armorican titanosaurs like Lyranosaurus and Astingosaurus at Singanosaurus, or the genus Magyarosaurus from the Hateg Island. We read the Wikipedia article for Hateg Island, I believe, a while ago. Several specimens found elsewhere in France and Spain were referred to Ankylosaurus, but were later identified as belonging to other titanosaurs. Discovery and naming. Ankylosaurus is known by abundant remains from the Bellevue site near the village of Campagne-sur-Aude in the Upper Aude Valley, in Aude Department in Aquitania region. It was recovered in the lower levels of the Marnes Rogues Inferiors Formation, which belonged to the early Maastrichtian epoch of the late Cretaceous period, roughly 70 million years ago. These sediments represent an ancient floodplain with numerous river channels. Historically, the dinosaurs of the Upper Aude Valley were first reported by Paul Gervais in 1877 from two vertebrae discovered in the commune of Fa. The first discoveries of dinosaur bones at Campagne-sur-Aude date back to the beginning of the 20th century, but they remained isolated and were quickly forgotten. It was not until 1982 that dinosaurs localities of the Upper Aude Valley were rediscovered by local amateurs, Pierre Klotz and Christian Reynaud, following the accidental discovery of a fossil bone in Campagne-sur-Aude by a hunter a year earlier. Klotz and Reynaud mainly discovered caudal vertebrae and limb bones during simple surface collecting carried out at several sites from the villages of Campagne-sur-Aude and Esperanza. In 1989, the first systematic excavations carried out by professional paleontologists began on the main site, located at the Bellevue farm. Several excavation campaigns brought to light numerous bones of an unknown sauropod. This new dinosaur was named Ankylosaurus atticus by the French paleontologist Jean Lelouf in a preliminary description published in 1995. Ankylosaurus is derived from the Greek I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry, the vine, and the Latinized Greek saurus, reptile. Therefore, Ankylosaurus means vineyard lizard. After the Blanquette de Lemort, I hope I said that right, vineyard, the vineyard is located on the south side of the region Ankylosaurus was found in. The specific name is based on the Latin Atax, the Aude River. Only one tooth, three articulated dorsal vertebrae, the holotype MDE-C3-247, and the neural spine of another dorsal vertebrae were illustrated, whereas the material known at that time also included the other dorsal and caudal vertebrae, ribs, chevrons, limb bones, shoulder and pelvis bones from several individuals. 4 osteoderms discovered at Bellevue and described in 1994 were also attributed to Ankylosaurus in 1995. In 2005, Lelouf published a more complete description of the bones discovered since 1989, including a brain case and a right dentary. In 2001 was found a relatively complete skeleton of a young adult about 10 meters long, nicknamed Eva, after the name of Eva Morvan, the student who discovered the first elements. Several excavation campaigns were necessary until 2006 to extract the skeleton. The specimen, which has yet to be described, includes an almost complete disarticulated skull, of which only a few elements are currently on display in the Dinosaur Museum of Esperanza. In 2007, the remains of a larger specimen were discovered, including a sternal plate, a scapula, a 1.220 meter femur, a pubis, a caudal vertebrae, and a chevron. For more than 20 years, Ankylosaurus atticus was considered the only titanosaur present at Bellevue. Observed differences in long bones proportions have been interpreted as examples of individual variations. However, in 2012, a morphometric study of titanosaur femurs from France and Spain suggested the presence of 3 morphotypes at Bellevue, one of which was tentatively assigned to the genus Lyranosaurus. There ain't enough room for 2 bears? Hi, Bearist Bear Noodles. That's a good name. That's a good name. Hope you're doing right, sir. Hope you're having a good night. Well, that's too bad. I know, like, at least 20 other bears. I know at least 20 other bears. But how are you, bear? How are you? Or you prefer noodles? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hope you're having a good night, sweetheart. Hope you're having a good night. We're just reading some Wikipedia. Voice crack. We're just reading some Wikipedia. Your right headphone broke. Oh. Bear's fine? Okay. You got it, Bears. Or Bear. Sorry. You say your right headphone broke. That's never fun. There's a period. So I've gone through like maybe 3 pairs of Bluetooth earbuds now. Nothing like super fancy, just like cheap $15 ones off of Amazon. And then after using them for like months, the right one always like starts getting quieter. Like it's always quieter than the left one, except sometimes it's not. So I don't know if it was just gunked up or what, but it sounds fine right now. It sounded fine today. But it's never fun when one side is louder than the other, because I feel weird. But yeah, sometimes it's just time for an upgrade. You work in detailing, so wire damage? Ah, okay. If you like, I can. Is it the right side? I think. Where do we leave off here? We're just reading the Wikipedia article for Ankylosaurus. That's left for you? Oh, yes. Yes, it is left. Because you said right. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired. Sorry. But yeah, we're reading the Wikipedia article for Ankylosaurus. It's a sauropod it's a titanosaur from France. Because we were talking about the newest Pokemon game. And they picked Chikorita for one of the 3 starters. And yeah. And Chikorita, as a sauropod, it evolves into some form. It looks like a dinosaur anyway. And Ankylosaurus is a titanosaur from France that was found near a vineyard, or in the same region as a vineyard. So its name means vineyard lizard or vine lizard. And so I was getting excited about that. This is a neat coincidence. Hopefully they do something like that. A Meganium with like a ring of grapes instead of a flower, or it has like dorsal spine grapes. I don't know, that'd be cool. It's 3 a.m. and you gotta work at 8. Well, I hope you get some good sleep, bears. Hope you get some good sleep. I find a lot of my audience are in time zones very far from mine, and it's always like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. for them. Well, I hope you get some form of rest, bears. Gotten both the shiny decks and both Sun and Moon, and the one with the motorcycle things. Oh, Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, shiny decks. That's exciting. That's exciting. I've never done shiny hunting. I found a handful of shinies until Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, when they made shinies easier to find through like the Ultra wormholes. Um, but then again, you can only find like a certain variety of Pokemon in the wormholes. Um, but before that, I had my first shiny ever was in Pokemon Y. Where it was a Drapion. It was a Drapion. Just a random Drapion encounter. And then again in Y, I used my fishing pole in the first little town where you get your starter. In that little like moat. I fished in the moat, and I fished up a shiny Magikarp. Like first try, and those are like the two shinies I can recall off the top of my head that I found, besides the wormhole shinies. And even then, those were only like 2 or 3 shinies. Um, Basically everything but the starter was to be shiny before you catch it. Oh, excuse me. I've seen people do like, oh my god, sorry about the burps. Shiny locks, shiny Nuzlocks, and like that would take forever. I don't. I couldn't do that. I never finished Violet. I never finished it. My brother bought it for. I don't have a Switch. It played on my brother's Switch. But finding Fido for the first time was like, that was really cool. Was that fun? Yeah, I can imagine. Although, is shiny hunting in those games easier because you can see all of them? You don't have to do random encounters. You just kind of load and reload the area till you find a shiny. I don't know. Or do you have to like fight them all so more respawn? Is that how it works? I don't know how it works. I don't know if I've ever watched the Scarlet and Violet shiny hunting video or anything. Yeah, much? Okay. But I never finished Violet. Really like Fido though. Fido is like such a neat Pokemon. It's such a cool idea. A genius. Did someone come up with that, like the name, the pun Fido, and they're like, that's a Pokemon right there. That's a Pokemon right there. I liked Fido. I think Fido's my favorite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, the new generation. I haven't seen all of them, as far as I know. I haven't. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen all of them. I pulled. I didn't know Dodonzo was a thing. Dodondo, the big fish whale. I didn't know that was a thing until I put a Pokemon card. I was like, what the heck is this thing? I've never seen this thing before. Where did we leave off in the article? Your first shiny was a Pikachu, and when you got it, you were watching a stream, and you asked if you got any shinies and what would it be. You said that, and you got it right after it. Nice. I do have a pretty fond memory of Ultra Moon, like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, like when those games were like the newest ones. I think those released when I was in high school still. I think I was still in school. Um, And I watched M&J TV a lot. I think he still uploads. Watched his Pokemon Talk videos and stuff. And he did a handful of streams where he would just GTS, put a shiny in the GTS and then just ask for a Pokemon. Thank you for the follow, Bears. Thank you. Mwah. I appreciate that a lot. So we hit 790. You number 790. Congrats, Bears. Congrats. Thank you for the follow, sweetheart. Thank you. I'm Ketchup the Bear. Sorry. I don't know if I introduced myself yet. I'm Ketchup the Bear. I do ASMR like this every Wednesday, Sunday, or Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and the rest of the week we play games. Tomorrow, every Saturday we play an old Sega game. And if you have a favorite ASMR trigger, I'd be happy to do it for you as thanks for your follow. No need to worry about redeeming a request or anything. I can do pretty much anything but like ear eating because I don't have the right mic for that. I could do mouth sounds, but if you like water sounds, I have some ice globes. Do some tapping. If not, no worries. Thank you for the follow, sir. Thank you. Mwah. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you need more of my ASMR when I'm not streaming ASMR, I upload all my VODs to YouTube. There's a big long playlist of all the ASMR VODs. You can also just go to recent uploads to find the most recent streams that way as well. Yeah. Some paper scrunching. I don't know if I have paper. That's, oh my goodness. I don't know if this, I have a paper towel tube. I don't know if that's similar enough. I don't know if I have just paper in my room. Oh my goodness. I have a paper towel tube I can rip up or something if you'd like. If I can try that. I don't know. It's a good sound though. Oh nope, that's not good. I don't know if I have paper. I can do. I do have this. Hello. Oh. Where is it? There it is. I have this Panda Express utensils wrapper with the napkin in it still. Kind of similar to maybe crunching, but hello. I don't know what that means. Hello, Classic Jake. I don't know what that means. Baguette. It's a wrapper for your tongue. I don't know if this is similar to paper crunch. Okay, crumpling. Maybe not as meaty, girthy. Does that sound okay to you, though, Bears? Does that sound okay to you? Oh, the baguette. Oh, no, it does. It does. You're right. It does. Because they line that with like wax or paper or something or plastic. But we're probably gonna call it a night here in about 20 minutes or so. Probably. So if you have any trigger requests or anything like that, your smoochers redeems, get those in soon. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till Sunday. No worries, Bears. No worries. Please get some good sleep. I hope you get some good sleep. Sweet dreams, sweetheart. Thank you for the follow, dear. Thank you, thank you. Okay, where do we leave off with the article? Where do we leave off? Right here. In 2013, Veronica Diaz et al. However, noted that these femora differed from L. Estebier in several features. In 2021, Diaz and colleagues also agree on the existence at this site of a second titanosaur, but find it more similar to the genus Garrigatitan from the Upper Campanian of Province. The recognition of the presence of a second species of titanosaur at Bellevue, in addition to Ankylosaurus atticus, creates a high level of uncertainty in the attribution to one or other of these species of isolated remains found at this site. Diaz et al. Thus underlined the need to revise all of the titanosaur bones found at Bernardville, and colleagues presented preliminary results of a comprehensive study of the abundant titanosaur remains from Bellevue, which confirms the presence at this locality of a new titanosaur species whose description is in progress. This study will also lead to an amended diagnosis of Ankylosaurus. Purported Ankylosaurus remains from other localities. We should also be looking for someone to raid here soon. Let's see. Hi, Mooney. How are you, sweetheart? One good girl and some whispers. All right. I can do it for you, sweetheart. I can do that for you. Listen to are you sleeping? Okay. We won't be live too much longer, maybe another 20 minutes. Oh, shoot. So you came in during the ad break, Mooney. I'll get those to you after the ad break, alright, sweetheart? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll wait till the ad break. But oh, Zaya is live. Zaya is live. Korean Zaya. Minari is live too. Have anyone else? Have anyone else? Vilnius is live too. That's about it. That's about it. Let's see. Excuse me, sorry. Goodness. Hi, Blue. How are you, sweetheart? How are you? How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. It's stir fry for dinner. We were talking about Pokemon and D&D earlier. We're working my way through this Wikipedia article about a sauropod. Yeah, it's kind of a sleepy day. It was sunny and like warm last week for like 3 days. And I got cold again, or it's gotten cold again. So yay, yay. But I guess it's still winter. Not quite spring yet. We're getting there. The trees, at least the trees in the front yard, don't have leaves on them yet. So some of the trees are starting to sprout leaves, but not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Welcome back, Fan Break. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it lots. Thank you. Thank you. We're talking about speculating about what the 3 starters in Legend ZA are going to look like, or what they're going to do with that. Yeah, because there's a sauropod native to what is now France, named Ampelosaurus. Ampelosaurus. It was discovered in 1995, or described in 1995. I'm gonna try to eat now. Okay, Blue. We'll be live for a little while longer. We'll probably call it a night here after I finish Mooney's redeems. We'll probably rate Minari here. And its name means vine lizard or vineyard lizard because it was found in the same region as a vineyard. So it's just literally perfect. Give us a grape or wine themed, grape themed, vineyard themed Meganium. Do it. Do it, Game Freak. It's perfect. It's perfect. Anyway, let me get you your redeems here, Mooney, and we'll get going here. Okay. Here you go, Mooney. Here's your good girl. And then some Inaudible whispers for you. Mooney. Mooney. You're a very, very good girl. Good girl, Mooney. Good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl, 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 good girl. Good girl, Mooney. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Good girl, Mooney. Good girl. Mwah. Mwah. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Very, very good girl. Yes, you are. Look at you. Such a good girl. Good girl, Mooney. Good girl. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Mwah. 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 There you go, Mooney. There's your good girl. I need to get you your inaudible whispers. Blue wants a good boy. Oh, okay. Okay. But I'm doing the cutoff there. Doing the cutoff there. Do you know before we end? Of course, of course. Okay. Here's your inaudible whispers. Mooney, here's your inaudible whispers. Alright. There's your inaudible whispers, Mooney. Hopefully those were enough for you. Thank you for the redeems for everything. Thank you. Okay. Alright, here's your good boy, Blue. Here's your good boy, and then we'll get the right going. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Champions Arena. I believe that's what it's called. Champions Arena. I believe that's what's on the schedule. Oh, Eternal Champions. Champions Arena is like a mobile game or something, right? It's Eternal Champions. Eternal Champions. Alright. Blue. Blue. You're a very, boy, good boy. Such a good boy, yes you are. Look at you, such a good boy. Such a good boy, yes you are. Yes, you are such a good boy, 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 good boy. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good boy. Good boy, good boy, good boy. All right, there you go, Blue. There you go. Thank you for the redeem, sir. Thank you. We kind of went long in the tooth the past like 3-4 streams, so kind of end on time tonight. Kinda. Probably gonna go get some more dinner. No one redeemed snack, so I have this Mr. Beast Feastables thing here, this bar that was sitting in the candy dish for months, covered in or surrounded by mint flavored lifesavers, so it's probably gonna taste a little minty. Curious about that, so I'm not gonna eat the whole thing in one sitting. If someone redeems the snack, the treat redeem, I'm just gonna eat a little segment of it, because this thing is 190 calories and 35% of your daily saturated fats and 30% of your daily sugar. Oh my goodness, Phobos. Alright. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm only going to eat a little piece of it. I'm just going to break off a chunk. Dude, this chocolate bar feels weird. Okay, let me get it open here. Speak of the devil. Oh, the chocolate is very bloomed. It doesn't look... At least that corner is bloomed. That's really... Yeah, this chocolate looks weird. I don't think I'm gonna eat any of this. It looks weird. It's all like warped, and it's bloomed in the corners. I'm not gonna eat that. It's a Mr. Beast Feastables bar that's just been sitting in the candy dish for months. I didn't buy it. My mom did. Anyway, I have this coconut little snack here. It's like dried coconut rolled into like a stick and dipped in chocolate. Like a wafer stick. I'll eat this instead. But thank you for the tree redeem, Phobos. Thank you. Okay. And I can't tell if this is mold on this thing or if it's just chocolate. It's probably just chocolate. The rest of it looks fine. That's not bad though. Taste the coconut. How do I get my favorite bear his favorite chocolate? I have a throne. I have a throne. It's linked in the about section. You can also scan the QR code on the screen right now, and it'll take you to the throne. I have surprise gifts on because Muck made me turn them on. You can also suggest something for the wish list if you'd rather do that. I didn't eat the Mr. Beast bar, okay? It looks weird. I've had one before, and it did not look like this. The chocolate bloomed and like literally warped. It's like, it looks like it's still melting on my fingers. It looks like a piece of like sheet metal you put under the sun, and it like It's so weird. Like, I've seen like a Hershey bar or Hershey Kiss bloom a little. Yeah, bloom is just when chocolate gets a little dry. Oh, okay. So, according to the AI overview here, where's the Wikipedia article? Give me the Wikipedia article. Okay, so there's two types of chocolate bloom. Okay, just read the first paragraph here. Don't lick me till I'm blushing. No, don't lick me. Don't lick me. Chocolate bloom is either of two types of whitish coating that can appear on the surface of chocolate: fat bloom, caused by changes in the fat crystals in the chocolate, and sugar bloom, due to crystals formed by the action of moisture on the sugar. Fat and sugar bloom damage the appearance of the chocolate but do not limit its shelf life. Chocolate that has bloomed is still safe to eat, as it is a non-perishable food due to its sugar content, but may have an unappetizing appearance and surface texture. Chocolate bloom can be repaired by melting the chocolate down, storing it, and pouring it into a mold, and allowing it to cool and re-solidify, bringing the sugar or fat back into the solution. Fat bloom. Fat bloom is the result of gradual separation of the cocoa butter and the dissolved components of the chocolate mixture. Generally, bloom arises due to storage or age. Improper formulation exacerbates the problem. The fats in cocoa butter are a mixture of triglycerides with varying melting points. Those with lower melt temperatures are more mobile than other constituents and migrate to the surface of the chocolate. You've never heard of chocolate bloom in your life? It's just like, have you ever seen a piece of chocolate that just looks weird? Like it's got white spots or it looks dry? That's what chocolate bloom is. Go eats down. Good night, Blue. Good night. Kind of a little sidetracked here. Um, Apparently, it does not affect the actual like life of the chocolate. Yeah, this is definitely bloomed chocolate. I don't know. Maybe the bar was already warped like this before I got to it, but like the corner of it's like shiny. It's weird. No, it shouldn't, because of the pure sugar content. You can't. It does. It's non-perishable. I'm not gonna eat it though, because I just ate the coconut thing. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll eat the corner away from the bloom. Because this stuff. I'm just curious to see if it's been infused with mint. No. Okay, I'm not swallowing that. It's just gross. Okay, so I tried Mr. Beast bar before. The other one was fresher, right? Because it was a few months ago. Maybe it's just because I still have the taste of like the coconut from the coconut wafer roll thing. But that thing tasted like nothing. Like, okay, have you guys ever had the like Christmas, like the generic Christmas chocolate and like those really bad, like those advent calendar chocolate things with like little Christmas shapes, like little Santas and Christmas trees, snowmen, and reindeer? Or like chocolate coins? If you ever had those, that's what a Mr. Beast Feastable bar tastes like. The milk chocolate one, anyway. I haven't had the other ones. It tastes like that, but maybe a little better. Like it may be sweeter. That's what it tastes like. And that's supposed to be 35% of your daily sugar and 30% of your daily fat. Saturated fat. Or 35% of your daily saturated fat and 30% of your daily sugar. Like, that's not worth it. Eat like 5 Hershey bars then. Or what, the amount to equal that if you want that much saturated fat and sugar in one sitting. Excuse me, sorry. Anyway, it is so bad. Like, I ate it. I was like, what the frick? Or I looked at it. I was like, this is nuts. Okay, we're going to go. I got distracted. We got distracted by chocolate bloom. But chocolate bloom only it happens when the fat crystals separate from the cocoa butter or the sugar crystallizes or whatever. You can fix it by just melting the chocolate back down and putting it in a mold, and because it mixes everything back up. It does not affect the chocolate's shelf life. It might affect its taste or texture, but yeah, yeah. It also happens when you don't temper your chocolate correctly. If you don't temper your chocolate correctly, it gets messy. Hi, Ari. Okay. Okay, but no more redeems. If I see any more redeems, a treat? I don't have any treats. I'm sorry, Ari. I'm sorry. I ate all my treats. I had a little coconut. Well, I have more of this coconut wafer. I'll just eat another bite of that. That works. Oh my goodness. I have a Mr. Beast Feastables chocolate bar here that has been sitting in the candy dish under by the. Oh, I threw those away. They were expired. they were long expired. I threw them out. A while ago. And it had been surrounded by mint flavor, just mint lifesavers. So I was curious to see if the chocolate had been infused with mintiness. Seemingly not. I tried a little bit of it. I opened it. The chocolate bar is kind of warped. It's probably from the manufacturing process. It doesn't look like it melted and then resolidified. Like the imprint of like the Mr. Beast logo is still fine. It's just a little warped, and the chocolate is bloomed in a corner, going from one corner to the other, one side of the bar. So it's unappetizing. I took off a corner away from the blooming, and it doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste good. But thank you for the treat. I add some more of the coconut wafer. Okay. In the stretch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't recommend the Mr. Beast Feastables bar. They're not good. They taste like a little bit better version of those like crummy Christmas advent calendar chocolates or chocolate coins. Like super cheap chocolate you get in like those stupid like what was I saying? Just like little chocolate pieces in like candy toys, Like they taste like those. Although even those are better because they're coated in candy or sugar shell or whatever. Anyway, not good. It's not worth it. Especially at the calorie count and 35% of your daily saturated fats in one bar. That's nuts. It's probably just as bad on a Hershey bar. Probably. I don't have a Hershey bar to compare. Probably just as bad, but I mean, oof. Oof. But hi, Ari. How are you, sweetheart? Hope you're doing alright. Hope you're doing alright. You want some smooches? Praising a good girl? Okay. And then we are raiding out. I'm not going to get distracted. Talk about chocolate bloom. I'm not. Okay. I've probably smooched that person too. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, and it's not like, it's just a channel point redeem. It's nothing. No, it's not parasocial. It's no, it's not. Okay, here's your smooches, Ari. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry. Hey, Moonlight. Hi. I hope you're doing okay, Moonlight. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you had a good week. Alright. There's your smooches, Ari. And you want praise? Is there anything in particular you would like praise about, Ari? Anything in particular you would like praise about? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Moonlight. We'll be calling like here in a handful of minutes. One did like 20 minutes ago, and then we got distracted by chocolate. Hey, Bears. I got distracted by talking about chocolate. Bloom. Because Phobos redeemed the treat redeem. So I opened the Mr. Beast Feastables chocolate bar, the stupid thing. And it's like. It's blooming really badly in the corners, which is fine. Blooming is natural. Chocolate, it's fine. It's not like the chocolate's moldy. It's just the fat is separating from the rest of the chocolate. Um, but like this bar is like really warped. Like something happened in the factory when it like got stamped, and it like got warped. I don't think it got melty because it happened when the chocolate was still like fresh after it came out of the mold, probably. Um, so I tried a piece of it away from the blooming, and it is terrible. It's freaking terrible. It's marginally better than those chocolate coins you get at the dollar store, or the really crummy chocolate you get in those advent calendars around Christmas time, like the really tiny piece of chocolate shaped like Santa and snowmen and trees. It tastes like marginally better than that. I'd rather eat a Hershey bar for sure. Give me like a Hershey bar with almonds in them. Give me one of those, or a symphony bar. Oh wait, of course a symphony bar is way better than Mr. Beast bar. But again, this is just the milk chocolate one. I haven't had the other two varieties. I've heard those are better, but yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything you would like to praise about specifically, Ari? Anything in particular? Um, Ari, I'm very proud of you, sir. You work very hard. You crazy cat lady. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. You work very hard. You're awesome. You're very sweet. I'm glad to know you. It's always good to see you, Ari. Thank you for playing Monster Hunter with me and Icy weeks ago before Wilds came out. Still need to finish Wilds. I'm gonna find the Elder Dragons now or something. So I don't know when I'm gonna get around to that. But you're very sweet, Ari. You're very sweet. And thank you for being here. Okay. Now, Aries, good girl. Your dead, sick, evil side is coming out of me, and you don't think you put it back in. I don't know what that means, Moon Knight, but is that like a dead sector? Is that a game? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm a dum dum. I'm a dum dum. Did you guys watch? I don't know if you guys were my age, but when I was younger, it was in 5th or 6th grade. Maybe it was 3rd grade. I think it was 3rd grade. Evil Hacker Side. Oh, okay. The first Night at the Museum movie came out, and the Easter Island head says, "Give me dum dum, give me gum gum, dum dum, dum dum, give me gum gum." I don't know if that's too politically correct anymore. I don't know, but it was really funny to 8-year-old me and my friends. And then maybe it was 3rd grade when Night at the Smithsonian released. Maybe that was it. Because I remember a friend did the like boom, bang, firepower thing that the Thinker does. The Thinker statue. My favorite part of that movie is when they drag out the cardboard cutout of the mobster, Darth Vader, and Oscar the Grouch. It was so funny. I love that part. And the is it Conchmentar? Something. It's a bad guy. He's like, okay, what's your deal? And Darth Vader just tries to choke him. He's like, what is this? What are you doing? Get him out of here. And then he doesn't take Oscar the Grouch seriously either. I'll have to look up that scene. It's funny. It's funny. Stretch. Okay. Anyway, like that movie was really popular in my group of friends when I was, pretty sure that was 3rd grade. Pretty sure that was 3rd grade. Okay. Let me get you your good girl, Ari, and then we're gonna call it a night here. We're gonna read Minari. Minari's doing some hand cam stuff. She's like doing her nails or something. Go say hi. And we are ending stream this time. We're not going to talk about chocolate and chocolate bloom. We're not. Harry, you're a very, very good girl. You're a good girl, Harry. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl. Let's give me. Why are you being mean to me, Phobos? Sorry, I just saw that. I don't know how long ago you sent that. Apologies. What do you mean I'm a dork? What do you mean? Like you're just figuring this out? You're just noticing? Okay. Good girl, Erin. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Good girl, Erin. Good girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. A very, very good girl. Good girl, Erin. Good girl. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Mwah. 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 Good girl, Erin. Good girl. Mwah. Okay. Let's get the heck out of here. Thank you for the stretch post. Thank you. Just the ending part, please? Okay. I can do that for you, Moonlight. I can do that for you before we end it here. And there was one night we just kept going because we kept getting raided before we raided out. So we streamed for like 4 hours. I don't want to do that again. I would prefer not to do that tonight. We went pretty long 2 nights ago, night before that. What is that emote? That is so cute. Okay. Good girl, Midnight. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Midnight. Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Look at you, such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Midnight. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Midnight. Good girl. Yes, you are. Good girl. 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 Good girl, Midnight. Good girl. Look at you, such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are such a good girl. Okay. Give me a second to swap my headphones. Thank you for the redeem, Moonlight. Thank you for the redeems, Phobos and Airy. Hopefully those were alright for you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Give me a second to swap my headphones so I can get the heck out of here. Okay, Phobos. I will. Okay. I'm gonna go say hi to Menard. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for lurking and chatting. It was good to see you all. I will see you tomorrow for Eternal Champions. Not Champions Area. That's like a cringe mobile game. The stupid, annoying ads, I think. Eternal Champions for Sega Saturday number 20. The last Sega Saturday of March. So we had 3 Echo games and what last week was SWAT. So 5 games in March. Just seemingly the way the calendar worked here this year. Interesting. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please be safe. Please take care of yourself. Drink some water. Stay warm. Still a little cold out there, at least around here. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Drink some water. Take your meds. Take care of yourselves. Put on some more pajamas. And go get some seconds of dinner, if there's any left, or a snack, and watch some Lucky Star before I go to bed. Good night, guys. I love you all very much. Please be nice to Minari. She's awesome. Please give her a follow. If she hits 600, she has to drink thick water. So please do that. Bye-bye.